Hello, guys. I'm hoping that this is working now. I had a little bit of a blurb just a second ago. Um, so yeah, it kind of went in a direction I didn't want it to go, and missed and messed up on the title, and then it was just giving me some issues, and um, but I digress on that. I am live. I'm hoping that it stays that way. I've got a couple other places to share, so please give me a second and let me share it out. Uh, Definitely an interesting subject. It's something that I think a lot of people do not realize when we've got so many different holidays to begin with. And this is something different. This is something that's been kind of out of my element because I don't, I'm, me personally, I'm a Christian. And although I am Christian, I want to be able to um, kind of give an outlook on an understanding on some of these um, other holidays, because I believe a lot of them um, have some significant meanings to them, and they should be as understood as some of these other um, holidays. And I do have something else that I was planning on sharing with you guys as well. But it's going to be on Friday. I will make that announcement later on. And I do apologize. Honeybubs was in my other chat that got screwed up. Uh, so definitely want to apologize to her. Hope everybody's having a good day. I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a few minutes before I start talking about this particular holiday. And yes, I'm doing a lot of clicking. It is because I am um, doing a lot of sharing out. There were people that had said they wanted to be here, so I definitely wanted to go ahead and share it out and let people know that I'm live on here. And this is giving me trouble. Why? I have no clue. Come on. Yeah, the internet's been kind of not so nice to me lately. I don't know why. But I've had a lot of good days with the internet, so you just never know. Um, could be anything causing problems. So I hope everybody's having a good day. Okay, I think I will get started on talking about Yom Kippur. Okay, it is a holiday. It's a Jewish holiday, and it is something that is considered one of the more important holidays in the Jewish faith. Um, it usually falls sometimes in September or October. It depends on what kind of calendar you go by. Basically, it's wrapped up into another holiday, which at some point I will talk about that holiday. Um, Basically, they have a period of introspection, I guess you could say, and repentance. What they do is they they're basically asking for forgiveness to God, and it usually um, follows a holiday called Rosh Hashanah, and that's the New Year for the Jewish faith. Um, it's something that is very very important. Even people that are um, hey honey bubs and Vicky, hello, it's good to see you guys. Um, Basically, what Yom Kippur is a holiday that where people in the Jewish faith believe that God decides each person's faith. Um, they are encouraged to make amends and ask for forgiveness for sins that were committed during the past year. And one thing about the Jewish faith, it's not only their sins that they worry about, it's also the ones that their loved ones have passed. And it does state in the Torah, the Bible, that or this is what they believe, everybody is being judged whether you're living or passed on. And so Jews are encouraged to make amends and ask for forgiveness for the sins that they committed within that past year. Um, it also, where I've been looking at on my research, Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah are known as Judaism's high holy days. They're some of the highest holidays in the Jewish faith that it's kind of like Christians with Christmas and Easter. They hold a lot of significance of, you know, their religion. So basically, during Yom Kippur, they end up um, doing a fast. Rachel Hall, hello. Pronounced Yom Kippur. Yes, I'm sorry. Um, it's See, I'm not good with pronouncing things, and if I get anything mixed up, I do apologize. I'm uh, doing this out of respect and to let people understand and know some of the most significant holidays. And it just so happens Yom Kippur is um land is it's actually today from what I had done my research on, whether or not um so I appreciate it, Rachel. And Cody, hello, my nephew. It is great to see you. So basically what it is like the way that it says it in my understanding, in the Jewish faith, during Yom Kippur is you have a 25-hour fasting, and they believe it cleanses not only the body, also the soul and the spirit. And it's also you reflect on the things that have happened within the last year, and you're asking for forgiveness to God. And it's it begins, actually it's supposed to begin on the evening of today, and it ends on the evening of tomorrow. So we're right at that borderline. It's about to start, apparent from what I can see. um a lot of you guys know in the Bible, I would the way I was taught, the first few books of the Bible in the Old Testament is considered like the Torah. And a lot of you guys know the story about Moses helping the Jewish out of the Hebrews out of Egypt, the major Exodus. Um, they go to Mount Sinai, where during this Exodus, he goes and basically God gives Moses the Ten Commandments, things that we should live by, that is um, rules that God would like for us to follow. And while he is up there, um, talking to God and getting these Ten Commandments, he comes down the mountain and ends up catching the people that are at the bottom of the mountain, caught people worshiping a golden calf. And of course, he got angry. Um, he got really angry. He got angry enough to shatter the tablets with the Ten Commandments on them. And so, because the Israelites atoned for their sins for idolatry with that golden calf, God forgave their sins, and also Moses for the anger. Um, he offered Moses a second set of tablets. So basically, it was rewritten. He rewrote a second time these sacred tablets. Um, According to Jewish texts, um, during biblical times, Yom Kippur was the only day which the high priest could enter the inner sanctum of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. Basically, if anybody, from what I gather from church, because we talked about this, um, basically what I gather from church, because they did talk about the inner sanctum. Basically, no person with sin was supposed to be able to enter that inner sanctum, because they could disappear, they could pass away, and it's not supposed to be it's not supposed to be entered by anybody at any time. Yom Kippur is the only day that it could be entered. And the high priest would perform different rituals, sprinkle blood from sacrificed animals on the Ark of the Covenant. And the Ark of the Covenant contained those 10 commandments. Through that ceremony, he made atonement and asked for God's forgiveness on behalf of Israel. And this tradition has said to have continued until the destruction of the Second Temple by Romans. It was then adapted into services for rabbis and their congregations in synagogues. So, from what I gather now, they do that in their synagogues. But in Israel, they used to have one central place in the Holy Temple and all that stuff. That's where this kind of rituals ceremony had happened. And according to their beliefs, God judges all creatures during the 10 days of Al between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, deciding whether they would live or die in the coming year. According to Jewish law, that it teaches that God inscribes the names of the righteous in the book of life and condemns the wicked to death on Rosh Hashanah. Of course, like, I know this sounds a little complex, so I will talk about Rosh Hashanah at a later time. But people who fall in between the two categories have until Yom Kippur to perform repentance. And then it talks about, as a result, observant Jews consider Yom Kippur and the days leading up to it a time for prayer, good deeds, reflecting on the past mistakes, and making amends with others. So basically, during this 10 days, basically you're doing things to make things better for others, things that you may have made mistakes in the past year. These 10 days are a good time to try to correct those mistakes. What if it's like something you did to somebody else? This is also a good time to go and apologize, talk to them, make amends for what you have done. God the good one, hello, it is good to see you. Yes, like I said, I'm kind of stumbling on this because I am not Jewish. I am a Christian, but I feel like every religion is a little different. And just because I'm not part of that religion doesn't mean that there isn't some kind of magic or explanation in being able to talk about these other holidays, because some of them are really important in the Jewish faith, I know that this is one of the most important holidays that that the Jews have. Rachel even says all Jews will spend 10 days going around apologizing to all and they've offended in the past year, friends, families, co-workers. Yes, and also from what I can understand, they believe that those that have passed in the past year, the family members, the loved ones, also do prayers in hopes that it helps with communicating with God, because everybody, whether they're alive or they've passed away, their spirits are still going to be judged. And within these 10 days, I find it very interesting that these 10 days are like some really looked at. In Yom Kippur, I didn't realize they the tradition is you fast. That means no food or anything for 25 hours to observe this. It's also considered the most sacred day of the year. It's also sometimes referred to as the Sabbath of the Sabbaths. They don't go to work or they refrain from doing any work because it is forbidden during that holiday to be working. And especially, and even those that do not observe the other traditions in the Jewish faith, they will participate in Yom Kippur. And even in the Torah, it commands that all adults, this doesn't include the people that are sick, the people that are the elderly, and women who have just given birth. But it says all Jewish adults, they command all adults to abstain from eating, drinking between sundown on the evening before Yom Kippur and the nightfall of the next day. The fast is believed, like I was saying before, cleanse the body and spirit, not to serve as a punishment. Or religious Jews, I believe, more like those who are really into the Jewish faith, also heed other restrictions on bathing, washing, using makeup, wearing like leather shoes, having relations. They're And the reason behind that is to prevent worshipers from focusing on material possessions and superficial comforts, meaning things that happen. Basically, it's all about spirituality during Yom Kippur, and it's to focus on making things right that you personally have done wrong, and to ask for forgiveness. It's not for fun and games and doing basically whatever. Okay, it also says in here the High Holy Day prayer services include special texts, songs, and customs. Rabbis and their congregations read from a special prayer book I can't even pronounce the name of it. Montzor, maybe. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the names. Um, this special prayer book is read from during Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah. There are 5 distinct prayer services that take place on Yom Kippur, and basically the last one is before the sun sets on the following day. One of the most important prayers describes the atonement ritual performed by high priests during the ancient times. And according to this, it says the blowing of a trumpet that was made from a ram's horn is an essential emblematic part of both high holy days. A single long blast is sounded at the end of the final service to mark the conclusion of the fast. So basically, when the last prayer service is done, then that means that the horn is sounded and you can go home and spend time with friends or family. And basically, traditionally, from what I was reading, you get to eat comforting foods. A lot of it is somewhat like breakfast type foods. Um, After getting done with fasting, and um, and Rachel is right. From what I was reading before, they tend to stay home and spend all day in prayer. So far, okay. I want to. I don't want to screw up saying something and offend anybody for sure. And like I said, this is more or less trying to bring awareness to it because it is such an important holiday for the Jewish faith. A couple of things, fun facts that I found. Well, I consider fun facts. It is customary for religious Jews to dress in white. Now, that's kind of confusing because nowadays in September, they do not want you to wear white after Labor Day. I guess this would be considered an exception. And it also says some married men wear kittles, which are white burial shrouds to signify repentance. So on this holiday, you get to wear white. And of course, white is a symbol of purity. So it does make sense. And also, some Jews during this time will volunteer their time before Yom Kippur and make donations to help others. They say it's a way to seek God's forgiveness. And hmm, there's an ancient custom. I don't know if it's still done today. It might in some places, but I'm not sure. But it's an ancient custom. I cannot pronounce it again. As I would say, it says caparet or capero. I might be wrong. But this says it involves swinging a live chicken or bundle of coins over one's head while reciting a prayer. The chicken or the money is then given to the poor. So basically, this is a time of reflection for the Jewish faith. Um, and it's also something that is done every single year. It is really important to the Jewish to be able to do this. And I'm glad I found it. Um, kind of found out. I just happened to find it today. Still here listening, helping Pops. And it's good to see you, Jen. Well, my synagogue didn't do that. But yes, it is. It says it's an ancient tradition. It might have happened way back when in history, but I just found it kind of interesting that they had that tradition and the money or the chicken, whatever is like swung over your head, is given to the poor. Um, a lot of times, I know people that are not religious, they are spiritual. Or a lot of them are spiritual. Some people don't believe in anything. But I feel like, Yom Kippur is something that a lot of people should kind of reflect on. I mean, you might not be that religious as, identify as a of the Jewish faith, but thinking about it, to take the 10 days and it ending on Yom Kippur, spending time reflecting and doing charity. And of course, Yom Kippur is one that you don't do anything but stay at home and just do a lot of reflection. You're cleansing your body and soul, um, and you're focusing on a higher being. It's something that I found really interesting, and I feel like it's active in helping Jews be able to work towards something and to reflect on, maybe, correct that for the next year. Whatever the case may be, what has been done within that last year. Um, and I just found it really interesting. And it is, a part of history. It is something that is still talked about, and the tradition is done today. And it is, like I said, it's very sacred to the Jewish faith. It's it's very, very interesting to me. And like, I just happened to check and I was like, is there any other holidays here in the month of September? Because I wanted to bring out some of these holidays. It doesn't have to be Christian, um a Christian origin. It can be any religion. And it just so happened Yom Kippur is today. And of course, and it just told me the end of, by the evening tonight into tomorrow evening is when Yom Kippur happens. And I know there are people that are not of the Jewish faith have had questions about what are these holidays and what are these traditions. Well, you know, I look at it as a way to, uh it definitely opened my eyes a little bit. And now I'm thinking, you know, of doing the same thing, reflecting on what's happened in the past and looking forward to the future. And although I may not fast, I feel like it might be um, definitely something to get into, and you just never know. And it was definitely a challenge. Hey Jen, it is good to see you. And like I said, it to me it's different. I'm surprised I was able to bring that out. There was some more different information that I got, but it was the same thing as what I had talked to you guys about and read. And like I said, I'll talk about the Jewish New Year and the 10 days of all, and all that good stuff at a little bit later time because I missed it. What is Yom Kippur? Yom Kippur is a Jewish holiday, and basically what they do, I'm saying it in a nutshell because I've done talked about it more in depth. They base Jewish people, or what they do is they spend a day, actually not even well over a day, 25 hours of fasting. They do not work. They they basically don't do anything but praying and reflecting, and they're basically asking God to forgive them for their sins, especially within the last year. And it is one of the more serious of their faith. Like that, this is one of the most important days of the year, other than I believe the Jewish New Year. And days leading up to the new year, or Yom Kippur, they are actively spending time, giving it their time or donations to charity. They are going and asking for forgiveness from people that they may have wronged during that last year. And there is several different prayer sessions in synagogues throughout during this time of fasting. And it's basically like one of the really sacred holidays. Out of all the holidays, this is one that even those that are Jewish, that are not really religious, like going to synagogue and being part of their services all the time, this is one of the days that even those people will celebrate. They will be a part of. There are 5 high holy days in the Jewish faith. Wow. I did not know that. I mean, in Christianity, basically, Christmas and Easter, or Easter time, are a couple of the more important holidays for Christianity, but they are, um, you know, I'm not saying that they're not as important, but I think that this is just as important as that is. I would say. I'm just saying. And plus, it gave me a challenge to reflect on talking about a different religion. And see, I'm not Jewish. So doing the research and trying to figure out the origin, where it came from, really was kind of a eye opener. And see, this is the kind of thing I wanted to do all along, was to do this kind of magic of Christmas, where, or magic of different holidays, is because it wasn't just made for Christian holidays. Like, I will say on Friday, guys, there is something that I want to kind of bring to light that we normally do not celebrate in America, but it is considered a holiday. And it's kind of a 2-for-1 holiday. It is Constitutional Day, and it's also Citizenship Day in the U.S. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Passover, and I cannot say those other two. I think all different holidays are interesting. I do too. Like in Christmas, when I talked about the different aspects of Christmas and some of the myths that originated these traditions, it's just really, really cool. It's the Feast of Tabernacles. Interesting. Probably gonna start doing some of these magic of holidays a little bit more, open myself up a little bit more to doing the research and bringing about even awareness, because now I have more of a understanding. I respect it even more. Like, I had a friend that is Jewish, but I haven't seen them in a while. I remember there was one day they completely disappeared, and they said they're celebrating a holiday, and I'm like, what holiday? I'd love to know what kind of holiday it is. Subcoat. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take some pronunciation lessons on some of these things. But yeah, this holiday, like I said, I feel like every religion should have something to that effect, but not as serious as Yom Kippur. But like, I know in Christianity, we reflect on the sacrifice that Jesus Christ made, and even though we want to do better, a lot of times Christians always fall short, and it's like some of us just say a little prayer and go on and don't reflect on maybe there's a lesson learned and to go back and correct the problem. September 20th at sundown. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll definitely do another magic of with this Feast of Tabernacles. Definitely do that. And yeah, Hanukkah. I don't think I ever touched on Hanukkah, and a couple of the other ones that I've like seen on calendars and stuff. I'm like questioning it, like, what are these? Now I'm starting to see it. And hello, Tony. It is good to see you. It's good to see everybody. I'm so glad you guys came. And one thing I found out, I didn't find out until I started researching, Yom Kippur is probably one of the most important days, holidays of the Jewish faith. And it's where you're basically, Jews are actively praying and fasting for over a day. And it's good to see 10 people up in the house. And I think it's a really cool holiday, to be honest. I mean, you're doing a lot of reflection, but sometimes we got to settle down and just do some reflecting. You know, I think it's pretty cool. What about this works? Hello, Billy. A church I used to go to is to practice Jewish holidays also, but nobody knew what they were for or what they were about. It was just an excuse to have another banquet in the basement. Now, I will say Yom Kippur. Um, I used to do fasting in when I was in youth groups in church, and the fasting that we done was basically over a weekend, and it's like, yeah, you don't want to eat a lot of heavy stuff when you got done with a fast. You would want something more light, kind of comforting. And it's great to see you, Billy, and everybody, Jen, Rachel. And I want to thank Rachel, giving a big shout out to Rachel for um, helping me out with the pronunciations and making sure I had everything straight. And I don't want to ever do a magic of and have somebody feel like I disrespected them. Workers unite. Hold on just a second, guys. But yeah, that, like I said, I'm doing this out of respect as much as I can. And if I mess up, I'd love to have somebody correct me if I'm saying something or something is being said, and it might not be correct. It's definitely something I want to do with respect to everybody, not just um, me just talking about what I found out. Maybe I've gotten the story wrong or may have read something and took it out of context. It could, you know, but I want to be as respectful as I can. And the more you know about different, to me, the more I know about different religions and just even understanding it, the better I feel about it. And the more that I feel like it's going to be helpful to understand if I have friends that are um, of a different religion, to be able to understand, hey, they're going to take off and you might not see them for a little bit. They might be celebrating a holiday that they don't think anybody understands. So they don't talk about it. Some people talk about it and some people don't. Um, there's just, some people are like, well, you only celebrate mainstream stuff. Well, if somebody explained to me some of the religious stuff, then I would be more apt to celebrate with them. Oh, you're talking about the I appreciate that, Rachel. We were even supposed to light the 7 candles. Still to this day, don't have a clue why we lit the candles or what they represent. Hmm. I do know during Hanukkah, which is I plan on doing a magic of Hanukkah when it comes time. I know they lit the candles during that time. But I don't know about if there's any other times the candles were lit like that. Okay, Billy. Yeah, I believe that's Hanukkah. And what's really sad, and I'm not saying this out of disrespect to nobody, the only reason why I knew anything about Hanukkah was from watching South Park, and it's kind of sad that I found out that way about that that holiday. So I'm like even more curious as to what's going on with that. And I'm very curious. Anything that I can think of um that is a part of Hanukkah, I'm definitely going to talk about that. It's supposed to be 9 candles. And hello again, Tony. It's good to see you. Oh, that's cool, Papa Bear. The Festival of Lights. Hmm. And of course, there's also, what is it? There's like 4 or 5 holidays that run into each other in December, and it's such a weird. Um, it's so weird. Like I can't keep up with them, and I think that's why my main focus was Christmas, because there was so much symbolism in Christmas and the things that we would do as traditions on Christmas Day. Oh, that's interesting, Ken. Ah, gotcha. When it gets closer to Hanukkah, I definitely will do a magic of on that day. Dang, I got a frog in my throat. Definitely want to shout out my mom for getting me something to drink because I was like, yeah, my throat's about to get scratchy and it's not gonna be good. Love you too, Tony. I'm so glad you're here. Hanukkah is mentioned in the book of Maccabees. Cool. Oh, that is cool, honey bubs. I heard about some synagogues have it's sort of like schooling. Toyman, hello, it is good to see you. Dang. But yeah, that is awesome. Um, it seems like the more that you know, and sometimes and I never really thought about this. But Honey Loves brought up something uh about Hebrew school. I even seen it on a show, I think All in the Family or something like that. That synagogues had some like schooling to help teach about Jewish faith and about holidays and all that stuff. I heard about it. I don't know if it's true. They need it for when they have their bar mitzvahs. Now that's another thing I could do is talk about bar mitzvahs, what it's about, all that stuff. Hmm. It's good to see you guys. But yeah, I there's a lot more stuff that I feel like I need to research and bring. I'll bring it up in different streams from time to time. Holidays are gonna be kind of like this, where I talk about it. But I think it's this is one of the more interesting ones. Like, even though I've never heard of it, it's been going on for a very very long time. And to me, it's important to keep traditions alive. Oh, that's cool, Tony. Congrats on that. Definitely congrats. And like, the more for me, I've always been one to try to encourage tolerance of others. And when it comes to um religion and stuff, like I've always been the type, I'm trying to be respectful. And like, yeah, I may ask questions and some people take it the wrong way, but I want to be able to better understand and respect it. Uh, and hello, David. It's good to see you. So, but yeah, I kind of, for me personally, I like the idea of what Yom Kippur d- uh, does, as far as it helps you focus on spiritual and cleansing your body and just having focus on God and asking for forgiveness and just focusing on that. No work, no nothing, and just asking for forgiveness. And I basically, for that 10 days is a reflection of what happened in the past and working towards charity and helping others. But yeah, I figure, I mean, it's not a big explanation. Um, there's probably more to it than what I found. And if I find anything, I'll probably talk about it in one of my other magic of. Um, you guys don't want to miss out on Friday either, especially those that are in the United States. On Friday, yeah, I believe it's Friday. On the 17th is supposed to be Constitution Day and Citizenship Day. And it's supposed to be a holiday um, that we are supposed to celebrate. It's not really talked about, and it's something like I've never heard of it before. So, definitely going to talk about it. I would have to agree with you, Rachel. They did a lot of weird things. I don't blame you for not going back either, Ken. And I mean, to each their own. Um, the way I look at things when it comes to what you believe in, it's what you believe in. Every single person, like, especially if you have options around you, where I live is part of the what they call the Bible Belt. There's quite a few churches around here, and I'm Christian. If there's a church that I don't feel comfortable with, or they explain their beliefs and they're different from what I believe, it's not similar, then I can choose to go to a different church until I find one that fits me. Oh, that's cool, Tony. And so, for me personally, I've I've gotten away from religion, like the set of rules that you need to follow in churches, and because it can get have its own political things start happening. I've seen it happen when new staff comes in to um, preach to the congregation and all that stuff. Might not fit the same beliefs as what that church itself believes. And if I don't agree with it, I'm not going to be there. I'll find another church or another um, way of my walk with God, and working with it. Oh, that's cool, Rachel. And everybody has a unique path in life. Things can start out one way and it could be different in others. And Tony, I could definitely help you out. You guys, if you want to check out Tony Vlogs Adventures, um, he does some awesome videos as well as his brother, Cody Vlogs Adventures. Check both of them out. And if you hadn't, um, hit that red button. Go hit that red button, and so you get. And also, ring the bell to get notifications for when they upload or they go live. And everybody, like I was saying earlier, everybody has a different background. So everybody's life path is just a little bit different from each other. But yeah, definitely opened my eyes a little bit to the to what this holiday was about. I never knew that, the Jewish faith was kind of had these kind of more serious holidays. I was a Messianic Jew growing up, meaning you accepted Jesus as the Messiah prophesied about in the Old Testament. I gotcha. And even right there is like different like I was believing earlier, like even before this, there's different degrees too. Like there are Jews, like what Rachel was talking about, um, that she accepted Jesus as the Messiah that was prophesied about in the Old Testament, and they become, Messianic Jews tend to become Christian. Just and then I mean, there's different names to all this, and it does get kind of confusing for sure. But oh, you're welcome, Tony. I greatly appreciate you being here. I kind of stumble on my words because I wasn't expecting to talk about it, but yeah, there are so many different degrees, and like I said, there are people in different paths, life paths, and things evolve and change, and people's beliefs tend to change just a little bit. I gotcha. I celebrated all the feast holidays, practiced kosher eating, etc. Got it. I gotta run. Back is killing me. Down. I hope you have a good day too, Kim. I hope you start feeling better soon, and I hope and pray everything is okay with your family. But I think I have. I hope I explained Yom Kippur better for you guys, and I hope you guys get a somewhat better understanding of the holiday. Um, and like I said, I may say some things wrong, and I know in the future I'm going to say things wrong. So definitely overlook that. I'm trying, but I'll guess I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for being here. I greatly appreciate y'all. Much love, and you guys take care. And for those that celebrate Yom Kippur, I hope you guys have a great one. Much love to each and every one of you guys. And always remember, you never know what's out there till you spread your wings and fly.